get.
All right.
Dad, can you tell me get this shoe on because her feet are cold?
This isn't the right doll feeder.
No, you just let it go. A few days ago, asked me for any commonly asked. We'll wait. Well, hey guys, I asked on my Instagram a couple days ago if anybody had any questions, comments, concerns about getting a trailer or an RV. And a few of you reached out with some questions, and we kind of noticed a little bit of a pattern in terms of like which questions were getting asked, and a lot of them were pretty much the same. So we thought we would make a video and address some of your questions about what it's like to have an RV or buy an RV and set up an RV. So we're gonna go through some of those right now.
So one of the questions was asked was, what do you buy to put in the camper? And I think that all depends on how much work you want when you set up or when you decide to take it out and bring it back. We have ours set up pretty well. Pretty much the only thing we need to put in the camper is the food and our clothes. Everything else is already there. I mean, we bought, it was not cheap.
No.
It took some time.
Yes.
You need to get the shoe on her.
So as I was saying, it all depends on how much work you want to do. We don't want to do all that and have to take it in and out and spend hours doing that. So we pretty much bought everything to stay in the trailer.
Yeah, like we have pots and pans, all of our silverware. We even have some food items that we keep in there almost non-perishable that we keep in there almost year round that we know we're going to use almost every time, like pancakes and things like that. Sunblock, like bug spray, all kinds of different medications. Like John said, you pretty much just pack your clothes and your food and that's it. I mean, we load up and go. But we also take ours out quite a bit. If you are only planning on taking yours out like once a month or less, you probably don't need to stock it as much. You can probably just grab stuff from your house, but we wanted to be able to just take it and go. So that's the next question.
How hard is it to tow?
No, that's a you question. Also, she's naked.
It can be pretty daunting or what's the word I'm thinking? Intimidating, but it's really not bad. You just gotta pay more attention.
It probably also depends on the size of the trailer. Like if you're towing a pop-up or, you know, a 19-foot travel trailer, that's going to be a totally different towing experience than like how big is ours? 35 foot,
36 foot,
or even a fifth wheel. Those are going to be a little different too, but you might want to tell them about towing vehicles.
You definitely have to make sure you look at your tow ratings and make sure you're within that. Even maybe going a little light on the trailer would not be a bad idea. But definitely if you're doing a bumper pull, the weight distribution hitch is a must.
So if you do have a towing vehicle already, you can look in your owner's manual and it will tell you approximately what your towing capacity is. But like John said, you'll want to go a little below that when you're looking at trailers, just to account for any extra weight for propane bottles or, you know.
Well, it's just safe.
And
it's just safer that way.
Well, so you'll want to go under that. You never want to max out. So when we first started towing, John had a Ram 1500. It had a specific tow capacity. And we were not like up on it. Like we weren't like
we were towards
maxed
top,
out.
But we were not maxed out.
Yeah. So you'll just want to make sure that whatever you're towing is well within your towing capacity of your towing vehicle for safety.
Absolutely. Let's see. Cost. So right now, cost is high.
Like
so
with anything right now.
And, you know, ever since COVID hit, prices have skyrocketed. Going for pretty much MSRP, which before you would get thousands of dollars off.
Yeah.
So you will pay a little bit more now because everything is on short supply.
I will say when we bought ours in 2020 or 2021, 2021. We were initially looking and John was like, we want to get this trailer. And I was like, no, it's too expensive. It's too big. Like, let's just get the bare minimum and like, we'll have fun and it's great. And he ended up talking me into like a mid-level, like decent sized trailer. So I will say, like, if you have a family or young kids and you want to go camping with your trailer, certainly you can start out small and see kind of what you need, or even rent one or borrow a friend's and kind of see what your priorities are. Like, where do the kids want to sleep? What do you need a lot of storage for? And that will kind of help you determine what size trailer you need, and then that will drive some of your cost. Mid-range trailer will probably cost you anywhere from like $15 to $35, and then up from there it just keeps going. Like, the sky is the limit, truly. But there are different tiers of pricing.
Quality and features, and
Yeah.
you definitely pay. The more features you get, the more you're paying.
Yeah. So I mean, there is a pricing tier for anybody, but
It costs to store it. We have a pretty reasonable, probably one of the cheaper places in the area, and we just got a spot not covered or anything, and it's with taxes and everything, it's like $95 a month. Most of the covered places you can leave it plugged in and your refrigerator is always cold, and for us we don't see a need for that.
Yeah.
But
if anything, because we live in North Texas, like protection from hail and like crazy storms, that would be the reason that we would ever really upgrade to a covered spot. But uncovered works for us in this season. But I also know, like John said, $95 a month is kind of low. Like, a lot of our friends are paying considerably more than that. It just really depends on where your storage unit is. So, next question.
can I haul it alone? Well, you're only driving. You're the only person driving, so anyone can haul it alone. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it only takes one person. It'll take you a little bit longer to set up and maybe get back into your spots and stuff, but it can definitely be done alone.
Well, okay, so to take it a step further too, we have a backup camera on ours.
Yeah.
So there's a camera on the very back of the trailer that has and then John can see it on a screen inside his truck. So it's a backup camera.
Yeah.
He has like towing mirrors that stick out really far. Whenever we get to a spot, I'll hop out and I'll spot him, but really, like, he could probably do it on his own unless it was like a really challenging spot. I've seen him do some pretty crazy maneuvers with that trailer that I just kind of sat there and was like praying to the trailer gods that we would not hit anything. So can you haul it alone? Sure. Should you haul it alone? Depends on how confident you are and how big your trailer is. Because here's the thing about hauling a trailer, okay? Here's the thing. You can be doing 70 miles an hour, but if a big rig drives by you and you catch that wind, it can start swaying your trailer. And if you have a long trailer, or I mean even just a trailer in general, but particularly the long trailers, that tailwind can grab your trailer and fishtail you, and that's where it gets really dangerous. So you want to drive slowly. If it's really windy, you want to drive extra slow, and you want to be careful when you're passing people. Because there have been people where their trailer gets out of control really fast, and I mean it gets real bad real fast. So you certainly want to be careful when you're driving.
Yeah. I know some of the cool things that we didn't know we would want was the ice maker.
Yeah.
Obviously the weight distribution hitch is a must. Backup camera is very convenient.
Mm-hmm. The Blackstone. So stuff for cooking outside, you're going to really want that, especially in the Texas heat. I guess if you're traveling with kids, outdoor toys are awesome. We have like toys that are designated for camping. So they only get them when we go camping, so that when we get somewhere, it's like, oh, a new toy to play with. So those were some of the main questions that we got from you guys, but we thought we would also kind of throw in a little bonus and tell you what we wish we had known before we bought our trailer. For me, what I wish I had known, there's two things. One is just how often we would take it out. And I know that's probably not going to be the same for everybody. Some people take theirs out once a month or less, and that works for them. We tend to take ours out quite a bit, like at least a couple times a month. And I wish I had known we were going to use it that much, because we probably would have gone with a little bit bigger of a trailer to start with. You can probably see our trailer behind us now. That's our newer trailer. We recently upgraded from like a bunk, like just a bunk trailer. The kids didn't have their own room or anything. So now a trailer with their own bunk room. And that was huge. So I wish I had known just how much we were going to use it, because I would have probably gotten a little bit bigger of a trailer to start. So that kind of brings me back to my point earlier. If you're thinking about getting an RV or a trailer, ask to borrow one, ask to borrow a friend's, or just see it. There are options out there where you can actually rent somebody's RV. It's kind of like an Airbnb for RVs.
Highly recommend that.
Highly recommend. Just trying it out before you do it. It's huge. It's going to help you refine so much of your buying process, or not buying. Like, you might realize, like, I hate this. This is awful. But yeah, so on floor plan 2, the other thing that I wish I had known is that you really, depending on the size of your trailer, you're really probably going to want 2 AC units.
Especially here in Texas.
Especially here in Texas, it's going to struggle to keep it cool if it's anything over like 90 or 95.
Because if there's an option for a second AC, always do it.
Always do it.
And just easier to have it done.
What are you doing?
Have it done when you buy it, so
Yeah.
it's done and you don't have to worry about it. I
Exactly.
mean, I wish I would have known how much they all love it. I mean, that definitely, I think, to your point, how much we're going to use it, I would have pushed you on something else instead of the one I did push you on. So
Yeah. And let me tell you, like, the RV buying process, it will stretch your marriage. It will, because what one person thinks is important and you want, the other person is going to think is not worth it. So you really have to, I mean, I guess it's like buying a house or a car.
you just have to do your homework. You got to figure out when you want to use it. Like, we like to go in the winter as well, so we had to get a trailer that suited winter use. I mean, there's a lot of features that go into it that you don't think about, and you have to ADD moment.
Oh, it literally was a squirrel.
And yeah, so you just got to figure out how you want to use it and do your homework when you buy it.
Yeah. So those are the questions you guys asked us. If you have any more questions, go ahead and put them in the comments down below. We would love to answer them for you. I know when we were looking for an RV, we did nothing but watch YouTube videos of people doing exactly this, and it was so helpful, and we're kind of an open book. So if you have any more questions, just let us know and we're happy to help you out.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.